Look at that again, guys. It's had a glorious few days, and now it's freezing again in the polytunnel. It's raining again, and it's not the best weather at the moment. So I'm working in the polytunnel on the decking. Obviously, the polytunnel, you can see the heater there. It's warming here at the moment. It's to 18 degrees. Got down to 9 degrees yesterday, which 9 degrees, so that's about 48-50 degrees, and that's roughly the temperatures that what is staying at the moment. And looking at the 10-day forecast, then there's no real cold spells as such. Obviously in the polytunnel where the radiator is as well, it's actually making a difference. So my plan today is to plant some of my peppers. I'm gonna have to take a chance because they're growing so big now in the actual in the grow shed. They need to actually go into these grow bags. So I'm going to put a row, I think it's about 8 I got. I've picked the best. I've picked 4 with no flowers and 4 with flowers, because I've been encouraged to try and cut the flowers off some of them, even though I felt it was sacrilege, and you guys know what you're doing. So I've got a bit of a trial going on. So I got 4 with no flowers and 4 with flowers. So we're gonna get them planted now. Let's crack on. Well, I hope you can hear me, guys, over the rain. So I've got 3 tomato planters here. Obviously these are where the peppers are going, so I don't mind putting these quite close. I could put 3 per bag here rather than the tomatoes, because they go quite bush out. I like to give tomatoes a bit more room to breathe, but with the peppers they can go a little bit closer. So I got 3 per bag, which I want to maximise my growing space really. So obviously you've got the tomato planters in. I've cut the holes in the bottom with them, and it's just basically planting them up. But I've also got I've got a couple of other containers. So these buckets were free. Obviously I've cut holes in the bottom. I'm not going to use them like that. These ones I used last year for my tomatoes down on the allotment. But what I've done this year with these is created just a little bit more of a hole cleaner, and they will sit in the bags with a hole around them, of course, and then I can plant this up then, and then the roots go down into the bag, and that hopefully will give a good yield or good harvest come time to harvest. So I'll crack on with a couple of these now. Just put these in. They're a bit more fiddlier with these, to be honest, to put them in, because the tomato planters have a smaller hole, and some of the peppers, which I'll show you what I've got here. So these peppers, they're looking so good. These are the ones I've cut flowers off, and I've got one here, for example, where the flowers are still on there. So we're going to see how they both perform. So let's crack on and get these in then. Create a bit of room for myself here. Okay, so what I could do is go across a bit here on this one, to be honest. So I'll just cut a bit more out there and move that across. That will give me a bit more room there to put this one in, like so. I put the strings on you because I thought tomatoes were going to be going in here, guys, but there's not. The peppers are here now, so they've changed around slightly my idea. Not tomatoes, sorry, the cucumbers were going here, but I put them on the back because I was afraid of them casting some shade on the flowers and on the plants on the other side there. So just disturb the soil slightly underneath, because they've already been disturbed, the bags. And I don't need to put anything like any fertilizers in here, because obviously the grow bags have got 6-7 weeks, and hopefully that will give them a feed for a while, and then as the flowers continue to develop I'll start feeding them then. So yeah, let's have a little look what I can do here. So basically what my plan is to plant 1 with flowers, 3, and then 3 with no flowers. That's the plan. Well, this one actually is one with no flowers. So the 3 with no flowers are going to go in first, okay? Right. So the best way to do this is to get some more compost from my bag. Just moving the heater here for a minute. Yeah, so I'm going to try these peppers. I got loads of peppers up there, guys, as you know. So if they die, they die. You know, I have got more up in the grow shed. I got like, you know, about 50 or 60. So I got plenty to go at, to be honest. So I'll try them in here, and they may survive, they may not, but I think they will with this heater in here. And I will give them a bit of bubble wrap protection as well, which I'll show you in a second. So let's get this in without any further ado here. So let's make sure that's sorted. A bit more compost to the bottom there. Try not to get any compost in there. It's impossible really, to be honest, but just try your best. So let's see how this goes. Get it out, yeah. Wow. There we go. Look at that root ball, and these only went in, they only were transplanted, I don't know, 5 or 6 days ago into bigger pots. Look at them already. So it's going to go in, we'll try it. Go down, fill in around the gaps on the side. Like I said, this string really could be pulled out, to be honest. So, but I'll leave it in at the moment. It's always there to give it a bit of support if I need to. Just take that bottom leaf off. Yeah. I think that's pretty much one done. There we go. So, try number 2. Get the one without flowers. Just bear with me. Some of these are really the different varieties they are, and I told you in the last video that I did an update with the peppers that I forgot to well, I labelled them, but the pen was one of these funny pens which didn't last, the ink didn't last on it, so I was a bit disappointed with that. There we go. It is what it is. Now this one, look. Slightly different than this one. We get out compost holes in there. It's a nightmare they are to do. There must be a better way of designing them. I do like the halos, but there must be a better way of designing them. I can fill that up to the brim. And what the plan is with these, you feed through the top and water through the bottom. And because they got like large wells to contain the water, it just drips feed. You know, you can put 1.5 litres of water in there, and it just drips feed, and the plant takes up what it needs when it needs it, which I think is a great system. But it's just the way it's designed. It's like so difficult not to get soil, compost in there, you know. So there's number 2. Let's go for number 3. This one's in a smaller pot, so this should be a little bit easier, to be honest. I'll just chuck the compost in the bottom there. Again, I cut the flowers off this one, but you can see the soil, the root system on this one again is just starting to get out really. So you'll see now what we can do. Oh, what's the weather like with you guys? Is it raining? It's not cold here, but it's just intermittent with rain, but that's what happens this time of year anyway. Just take off. This time of year we have these we come into April now, April showers they call them, don't they? So I'd rather have a good dousing of rain now though, if I'm honest, and then the ground warms up in May, and then the plants will just absolutely thrive, because there's a possibility we could end up having another hot summer this year like we did last year, record temperatures last year. Plants do like a bit of heat, but even they struggled a little bit last year, some of my plants, because it was so hot I couldn't cool the polytunnels down. But this year, because I've got that heater, the other heater, in the grow shed, which blows out air, it also circulates cold air. It blows out cold air as well, so I can cool the tunnel down. And that's the idea, that's the plan. That's why I bought that one this year, so I can do that, so I can just give my plants the best possible way of thriving, which will produce a nice harvest for me. So there we are. So there's the 3. That's how I do it, guys. I'm going to put the other 3 in buckets, slightly buckets. But yeah, that's how it's done. So I'll catch you in a second when I've done them all. So before I tuck them up to bed with a bubble wrap, and I'm going to put another layer over the tail and put the heater forward there, and that's going to obviously give them a bit more warmth, as it were. So I got, like I said, the 3 I've put in there with no flowers, and 3 in there with obviously the flowers and things that are on them, and I got another 3 to put in there, which will be the 3 I've got here with flowers on as well. But I've got the rest of the plants then are all no flowers, because I kept 6 that got flowers. So yeah, I got a few to trial. So I'm going to wrap these up now, guys, with this bubble wrap, which basically hanging slightly, just to, you know, if it moves it's not going to damage the plants, as it were. So I'm going to tie this up, another piece goes around here, and then put the heater inside, and put a bit of cardboard over the heater, because it encourages you not to cover this section. So I'll put a bit of cardboard over there just to get the heat going. But it's quite warm in here at the moment, even though it's not sunny today. So that's it for today, guys. So as another little update, cucumbers will be going in here at some point, but they're going to be middle of April, I think, to be honest. Like the pepper should have been middle of April, but I just had to put them in because they are becoming a little bit, and I need to create room. I just need room to grow my other things, my other brassicas and stuff like that. They've got to go in, you know. So they've got no choice. Got to go in. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe. Bye for now.